now I'm too rich. Made 100K on my third shift. I'm a boy, so boy, and I'm a gangster. And you a boy. Man, we been getting money for a long time. We was out here hungry for a long time. I don't never really have no punchlines. And all you rappers looking like a lunch line. Right now, I got you. Right now. Nothing, need a Uber right now. Right now, need crew love right now. Cause we two up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. First I pull up, hop out, valet, walk out.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Denver Broncos. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Throwing on first down is Manning. Wide open receiver complete. He's at the 30. 10. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And down he goes just shy of the 25. Now a penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about.
Holding, receiving team.
Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
On 1st and 10, here's Keenum. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. And, Charles, you see the numbers for Amari Cooper last week. 5 catches, 69 yards.
And they think they have a matchup advantage in this one. They're going to try and find some space for him to work and make sure he touches the football.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
On second down, Freeman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, third down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
And down he'll go at the 25. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to work. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The numbers for Brown from a week ago. The hat trick +1, 4 trips to the end zone with his legs.
And, partner, you know how all the guys do when they do that little symbol now about eating, right? Keep feeding me, feeding me. They just kept feeding him and feeding him, and next thing you know, he kept getting in the end zone.
Right back to him on first down. Able to spin free. And some space here. And he's into the clear. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos will extend their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Extra point right down the middle, and that'll make the score 14-0. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays.
And the Broncos get there and take him down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Here's Keenum now on second down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. Cooper was the intended target. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find the spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
So after the INT, it's Manning. This will be caught inside the 10. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up 1st and goal. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. This defense porous so far in this first quarter. They face another 1st and goal. They come out here in the eye. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
So that's going to move them half the distance.
First of all, you can't jump in this situation, but think about your play calling now. Could easily change what you want to do and maybe make things a little bit easier.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. So from the 2, now they move back to the 7-yard line. 1st and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great play there. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've hit the end of quarter 1. 21-0 our score. Charles and I back to Denver after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Keenum now to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Pardon, it's not often that I expect running backs to eclipse 100 yards in back-to-back games, but he left 100 way behind last week. I think he's going to do it again. I'm expecting 150 or more.
And last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. So if he does what you say he might, maybe he'll get another one.
Yeah, I think he's locked in.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And one more time. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. It's a big play there for the Broncos. 46 yards on the ground. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that...
And he will score! Touchdown, Denver! It's their quarterback with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Broncos will extend their lead. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. A drive there of just 4 plays. And a 9-yard run on the end of it. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now Case Keenum and the offense heading back onto the field. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
If he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
The Raiders on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. Working from the gun, Keenum. And James has it. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. First target, first catch, and a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game, because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Two minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
And the ball is knocked out. The Broncos say they have it. They do.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they...
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget.
All right, here we go. Blue 90.
Now Manning throwing on second down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. score. A big play there with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Broncos continue to pour it on. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. A shotgun snap for Keenum. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. And down he goes, brought down a Raider sack. Khalil Mack. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
He's got Smith here, and he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll begin our tour up at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Baker Mayfield, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. From there, we head to Foxborough to check on the Patriots at home at Gillette Stadium. And they've got the lead over the visiting Houston Texans. Bruce Ellington, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's get you way up to Seattle. See what's happening with the Seahawks. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting 49ers. Russell Wilson has thrown a touchdown pass. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And Freeman lost the football. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to him.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. As his guys are in for 6. And the Broncos use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
I know a lot of coaches like to break their season into quarters. And how about the first 4 games for this guy? 3 touchdowns scored, really making his mark in the red zone here in the first month of the season.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
The Raiders on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Throwing is Keenum. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That goes for a gain of 31.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Keenum got his man complete over the middle. It's James. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you. And you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Keenum. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Well, that field goal block pretty much sums up the day for them, doesn't it?
Boy, it really does. What's the word we often use? Symptomatic. It's just been a sign of how this one's gone.
Give a lot of credit to the guys who got in and blocked the kick. They've had the advantage all game, and they continue to press it.
Wide open receiver complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it here with Brown. Whoosh. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great effort there. 41 yards. And the Broncos capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. So another score there. And often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And now Oakland ready to take the field. On 1st down, it's Keenum. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And they gave up the pick 6. And now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
2nd and 10. Keenum here again. Throw left side complete. It's James. And out across midfield down to the 45. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
On 1st down, Keenum. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. The 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So out come the Raiders. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Throwing on first down is Keenum. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Keenum again here on second and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
James has got it. Complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a nice pickup as this one gets them to the 10-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's second and 2.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. On third down, it's Brown. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Manning to throw for it on 4. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And he is going to have the first down as he's up to his own 13-yard line. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid fourth down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Now it's Brown. How about another? And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a second and 2.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first.
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a second and 9.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive game. Just keep that clock ticking.
Manning looking to throw it. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Now he's going to throw deep, and that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for the Broncos on third. 44 yards.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. To throw is Manning. Now he'll escape to his right. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Into the red zone now. Manning. Well, it's caught on the right side. It's Smith. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more. Little insult to injury here late in the game. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is indeed good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for Denver, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants.
Hey, I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push.
Now, let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.
Come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp. I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now and in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo. Shorty wanna me cousin wearing gold. I came up and made it happen. I was by the stove. Big inside this case is once.
Now, let's take a minute to see how you